Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Jamil. So let's see what market can move and how we can plan for tomorrow. Last day we discussed if anything gap down. After opening gap down will be considered for the selling, and for this we need accumulation zone. Accumulation zone, any breakdown we can plan to sell easily, and this is gap are going to be our first target. And you can see after gap down market started become going on upside. It's a non-stop rally. No doubt it's on a news market that you all know. 10 morning market started to hit the news. Only because of this news is on buying market, and remember in news market there is no any support and resistance where market will going to be react on here, and as a result you can see closing price there is no respect, market continuously going on upside. But you can see we discussed 11,700 going to be support, important resistance for the market. You can see after touching 11,700 market start to become negative on here, and this negative almost become drawdown 70 to 75% of this positive trend. Remember how you can understand if anything gap down will going to be sustained or not, or this gap going to be convert to the positive side. Remember after gap down market should not be going in one direction easily, because no doubt if anything gap down there is a few changes that to be in a price. That's the reason market open gap down. After gap down and this is the, you can see previous time it's an upside momentum, so for this it can be favored for the buyer. But how we can understand it's going to be positive or not? After opening gap down market need to be accumulated zone. After accumulated zone you can see this support will going to be flat and upside trend will going to be narrow, and second half any breakdown can be positive sign. That how this is the only way you can understand that on after gap down or market holding on his support and can be trend reversal that to be in second half. Remember timing should be in second half, this is the most important. And you can also see that morning hour breakout, continuously morning hour breakout are not going to be sustained on most of the case. Very rare that after breakdown and morning time market going to be sustained on here. The reason is you can see sentiment is negative. No doubt if you see the whole sentiment is negative. On sentiment, negative sentiment market, if and yesterday is also buyer is not a confidence. You can see because of this not a confidence they start to sold of their position end of the day, and negative closing was negative on yesterday and opening almost gap down. So if you see the sentiment is must need to be in continuous for the selling, but the moment is continuously going upside against the seller, and against the seller morning hour breakout are not going to be sustained. As a result you can see after non-stop rally market buyer are not get the confidence, because it's obvious, because they need a price action, they need accumulation zone. So after accumulation and price zone they can get the confidence to hold their position. You can see after touching 11,700 they start to sold of their position. After sold their position market almost become drawdown 75% drawdown on about this trend. So they are not, one thing is confirmed, buyer are not get the confidence about this trend. How they will get the confidence we already discussed. After a gap down it's in the accumulation zone, then trend is going to be narrow. Any breakout in second half can be positive and can be sustainable upside momentum, that to be in upside momentum. I hope you understand this point. So how we can plan for tomorrow? Market right now is on range. Whenever market on range it should be considered no trade zone. So this is going to be our no trade zone. How we can plan? Suppose market going to open on that range for tomorrow. After opening this range we have to be wait for closing 11,700. No doubt it's on huge range, but it is going to be volatile range, because after opening on here you can see this 11,400 and previous time, even also previous time, whenever market touch this level is upside momentum, touch this level upside momentum. Even today gap down is an upside momentum. That means buyer are aggressively defensive this range 11,400 on their favor. So how we can expect that only selling will going to be possible any candle closing above 11,400, then we can see aggressively downfall, that to be in tomorrow or even that to be on Friday. So for this we have to be wait to see where market is closing. And for buying we also discussed 11,700 above we can plan to buy on here. For the buying we have to be paused. We can planning to buy aggressive quantity, because on a weekly basis we already discussed that market can be this kind of pause candle, because already momentum already 2 to 3 weeks market continuously become negative. So market need to be paused, market need to be rest, then trade is going to be decided. So in this week we cannot plan to sell aggressively uptrend on momentum. For for the selling we can consider for the selling, because it's almost closing price to opening price to closing price. We can see almost near on 800 point markets already travel. So if this about to retracement above this trend, then you can see this gap can be our first target, and this gap genuinely can be filled if only this range will going to be taken off for tomorrow. So I hope you understand this point. This is the whole plan. And if anything gap down, then we have to be wait, because you can see after gap down it's an upside momentum. So again gap down, we cannot planning again will be positive momentum, because easy pattern kind of gap down opening market will not going to be do the same again and again. So suppose if anything gap down for tomorrow, have to see the price short will be considered for the selling, but should be in second half, because this is the most important support. Our market is reacting as a support on buyer favor. I hope you understand this point, friend. Let's take the S&P 500 for tomorrow. Similar analysis after gap down. It's a non-stop rally due to this news. After seeing 3,800 as we discussed on yesterday, this is going to be important resistance for the market. You can see after touching this level, no doubt buyer try to break out on 3,800, but sharply fall down. So I can plan for tomorrow after opening flat. We have to be wait. It is going to be similarly. You can see the range. This range will going to be no trade zone. Trendy will only going to be possible below 3,720 10th any candle closing. We can try to sell, and 3,680 or 3,670 going to be our first target. 10 to 15 point going to be established. One is going to be our target. And for the buying, I would not recommend you to buy on S&P 500. If you want to buy, you can check that Nasdaq, because as we discussed this week almost, that S&P 500 doesn't have enough space to move, so risk to reward ratio we're not going to be suit on here. Even if you want to buy on here, you can see the immediate resistance you are going to be 3,820. So after touching this level, market immediately can be fall. So it would be a scary scenario. So for the buy, you can consider for the Nasdaq, and for the selling, we can try to sell on here below, only below this swing. So I hope you understand this points. Not that it's on wide range for the market. Generally, after whenever market trade on a range, short straddle, short seller will go, generally make a short straddle, short triangle will going to be planned. So that's the reason market cannot move anywhere. Market almost trade on a range. Whenever market will trade on a range, option seller going to be the most of the time will going to be the profit. So I hope you understand this point. So let's see which stock we can plan to trade for tomorrow. First stock will going to be, and also this is going to be the last stock, which is Facebook, Meta platform. We can plan to sell for tomorrow. You can see continuously market sharp selling pullback, again sharp selling pullback, and it's a very big momentum. That means this candle is getting confirmation that selling still can be continuation. Selling still can be pending. So 150 is a round level, so we can planning for tomorrow. 155 as soon as we cross after opening flat, 155 as soon as cross, we can plan to sell, and $2 going to be stop loss, 1 is going to be out target. I hope you understand all of this point. If you understand, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, and thank you very much.